My Land Rover's engine growled as it climbed the final switchback on the treacherous Alpine road, the tires crunching over fresh snow that had fallen during the night. 8 grueling hours from Zurich, navigating through fog-shrouded passes and sheer drops that could swallow a man whole. The job posting had been cryptic: guardian duties at a remote climate research outpost, monitoring radar systems for avalanche warnings, decent pay for someone tough enough to handle solitude. After 2 years drifting since my discharge from the Marines, haunted by flashbacks from Iraq, I was desperate. PTSD checks barely covered rent in Edinburgh, and my savings were a joke. This gig on the Swiss Alps, it screamed isolation, which was exactly what I needed. No shrinks prying, no pity from old mates. Just me, the mountains, and whatever ghosts the wind carried. Schattenberg Fortress loomed into view like a relic from a forgotten war. Built by the Nazis in 1943 as a hidden bunker, it had been repurposed after the war into a weather station. Gray stone walls rose from a jagged plateau, flanked by vertical cliffs on 3 sides and a dense fir forest on the 4th. Turrets poked at the sky like broken spears, and the wind howled through arrow slits that once housed machine guns. No cell service, no neighbors, just eagles circling overhead and the distant rumble of avalanches. Perfect. I killed the engine, the silence crashing in like a wave. The air was razor-sharp, scented with pine and ice. I slung my rucksack over one shoulder, packed with MREs, a satellite phone, and my old service pistol, and trudged toward the massive iron gate. My boots sank into the snow, each step echoing off the stone. The fortress looked more like a medieval castle than a science outpost. Thick walls pockmarked by artillery scars, a central keep with a domed roof for the radar array, and underground bunkers rumored to hold wartime secrets. The porch, more a battlement, creaked under my weight. I made a note to reinforce it before the real storms hit. Alpine winters could bury a man alive. As I reached for the heavy door handle, something caught my eye. A leather pouch wedged into a crack in the stone frame, as if shoved there in haste. I pried it free, the material stiff from the cold. No markings, just my name etched in bold runes, ETHAN Blackwood. Inside was a single sheet of parchment, scrawled in deliberate script that looked like it came from a field manual. The letter dove right in. Ethan, heed these rules if you value your life. I've seen what happens to those who don't. This isn't folklore, it's survival doctrine. Rule 1: if you spot a girl in a white dress on the ledge, especially amid swirling snow, do not approach, do not call out, get in your vehicle and drive down the pass immediately. Return only at dawn. Rule 2: whispers will summon from the abyss. They may mimic kin or comrades pleading for aid. Never reply, never pursue. Barricade inside and endure until they fade. Rule 3: venture not into the night unless the floodlights blaze. If they fail or flicker, remain fortified no matter the cries. Rule 4: thundering footfalls commence at 200 hours in the dome above. Do not ascend. Do not probe, they cease on their own. Rule 5: a colossus with crimson eyes will loom from the peaks. Avert your gaze, acknowledge naught, seal the shutters and await his departure. These are commands, not counsel. Your existence hinges on obedience. Fortune favor you, Malcolm. I read it twice, then barked a laugh that echoed across the plateau, startling a raven into flight. Classic psyop bullshit. Every remote posting had some joker trying to haze the new blood with tall tailies. Malcolm, probably a fellow vet, had gone all in, carving rules on hide like some Viking saga. A girl in white summoning blizzards, whispers calling wolves, crimson-eyed giants brewing whirlwinds. Sounded like a bad war flick mixed with Alpine myths. I folded the parchment and pushed through the door, leaving it ajar to air out the musty interior. Inside, the fortress was Spartan but solid. The main hall had a massive granite hearth, flanked by radar consoles and data loggers. Bunkers branched off, one for sleeping quarters with a cot and locker, another for storage crammed with diesel cans and tools. A spiral stair led to the dome observatory where the climate gear hummed softly. Everything was pristine, no dust, no decay, which surprised me for a site this remote. My kit waited in the rover, Avalanche beacons, seismic sensors, SATCOM relays. The job was straightforward. Twice daily checks on the radar, log atmospheric data, transmit reports weekly. Easy creds for a grunt who thrived in no man's land. I spent the next hour hauling gear inside, setting up my ops center by the hearth. The Satlink synced flawlessly, pinging back to Zurich HQ. Sensors would go out tomorrow on the ledges, but I coded the prelims tonight. Malcolm's letter lay on the stone table, nagging at me with each pass. The script was steady, no flourish, just facts like a mission brief. But commitment sold the gag. He'd probably spent weeks weaving Nazi ghost stories to rattle the replacement. As daylight waned, I scouted the fortress. The bunk had a narrow slit window overlooking the abyss. The storage bunker held WWII relics, rusted helmets, ammo crates, and the dome stair groaned but held. I climbed up, flashlight piercing the gloom, empty expanse of reinforced concrete, radar dishes whirring above. No thundering feet, just echoes and cobwebs. By dusk, I had the place wired and my gear stowed. The fortress felt secure, its walls thick as tank armor. I kindled a fire in the hearth, sank into a worn leather chair with a field manual on meteorology, and listened to the wind batter the stones. Malcolm's letter mocked from the table. The bloke knew his lore. Alps teemed with tales of lost souls and mountain demons. Isolation bred madness. I'd seen it in the sandbox. I thought of my mum, Fiona, back in Edinburgh, probably knitting by the telly, fretting over her wayward lad. She'd worry if she knew the drop-offs here, but the distance was balm. No one knew my discharge details. The botched op, the mates lost, the endless VA rejections. Just me, the peaks, and tech to babysit. The fire popped as logs shifted, sparks dancing up the flue. Night cloaked the windows in black, reflecting the warm glow within. I'd deploy the external beacons at first light, establish routine. Malcolm's elaborate prank would fade with the work. I glanced at the letter once more, then buried it in my manual, dismissing the whispers of unease. The wind clawed at my parka as I hiked the first sensor array, my boots carving a path through knee-deep powder along the eastern ledge. Dawn had broken crisp and clear over Schattenberg, the Alps stretching like a frozen battlefield, jagged peaks clawing the sky, valleys swallowed by mist. The air bit with pine and ozone, and for the first time in months I felt steady. No nightmares of Fallujah, no shakes from the flashbacks. 2 miles of brutal terrain, but this was my element. No brass yelling orders, no IEDs waiting in the snow, just instruments begging maintenance. The gig was already working its magic. The primary array perched on a wind-battered outcrop a quarter-mile from the fortress. I unslung my tablet, gloved fingers tapping overnight readings. Temperature at degrees C, humidity spiking pre-storm, barometric pressure dropping like a bad omen, all nominal for Alpine autumn. Solar panels gleamed ice-free. The data logger beamed clean to Zurich. Housing intact, no cracks from micro-avalanches. 15 minutes per station, textbook stuff. After the sandbox chaos, this rhythm was therapy. No office snakes, no pitying stares over my discharge. I could nail this job, keep the demons at bay. Deeper into the traverse, GPS leading through fir thickets, I serviced the secondary array, cleared ice from anemometers, swapped a fritzing wind gauge. The third demanded a full probe replacement, readings haywire for days. I unpacked spares from my pack, the cold numbing my hands as I spliced wires. Sun crested the eastern ridge by the time I logged it, stomach growling for chow. Fortress in sight through the trees, I pictured hot coffee and bully beef when she was there. A tiny figure on the western ledge, 20 yards from the battlement gate. A girl no more than 7 in a tattered white dress that fluttered like a ghost in the breeze. She stood stock still, facing me dead on. No shiver, no wave, just unnatural rigidity like a porcelain doll planted in the snow. Malcolm's letter slammed into my skull. Rule 1. If you spot a girl in a white dress on the ledge, especially amid swirling snow, get in your vehicle and drive down the pass immediately. My boots froze mid-stride. I scanned, skin not pale but gray like ash under the filtered sun. Eyes two vast black voids swallowing light, no whites, no blink. This wasn't some villager's kid. Nearest hamlet was 2 hours down twisting passes. No tracks led to her, snow pristine save my own trail. Heart kicking like a mortar round, I backed a step. Instinct screamed, "Hey, lass, you lost." But Malcolm's words burned. Your existence hinges on obedience. She didn't twitch as I retreated, gaze locked on my approach point like staring through me at some void beyond. Truck parked by the gate, keys in pocket. I circled wide, skirting the ledge's drop-off, eyes flicking back, still as death. Hands shook unlocking the rover, engine roared to life. Rearview showed her shrinking, statue in white against stone. I floored it down the pass, tires spinning slush, pulse thundering. Half-mile drop, hairpin after hairpin, I risked another glance. Mirror haze, her form rippled like heat off desert sand. Then elongation, limbs sprouting impossible, torso stretching into a writhing mass of claws and wings, blotting the fortress. A bat thing from hell, screeching silent through glass. I punched the accelerator, fishtailing into fog. 30 seconds later, empty ledge. But the image seared, no hallucination, too vivid, too wrong. Base camp at Closter's Junction, 20 miles down. I pulled into the gas station lot, killed the engine, sat shaking for 10. Logic rallied, altitude hypoxia, stress mirage, PTSD flare. But details etched crystal, the dress's lace, claws raking air. No way. Malcolm's rules weren't bullshit, they were field orders from hell. Drive away, return at dawn. I'd follow to the letter. Bought coffee, jerky, crashed in the rover, dozing between flares, trucks rumbling, attendants' boots crunching. No white dress, no wings. Dawn gold touched the peaks. I rolled out stiff, resolve steel. Back at Shattenburg by 800, plateau serene under blue sky. Parked same spot, approached gate slow, eyes sweeping. Ledge clean, snow, rock, firs, but her stance. 4 gashes gouged the stone, deep as bare claws, fanning 6 inches wide. Fresh, scoring to bedrock, radiating from her exact spot. I crouched, no animal made these. Strength inhuman, like a tank tread. Finger deep, I could have fit a grenade in one. Inside, straight to the stone table. Unfolded Malcolm's parchment, words leaping alive. Precise script, urgent caps, do not approach. This wasn't hazing, it was doctrine from a man who'd stared down the abyss and walked. The gray skin, black eyes, transformation proof. 4 rules left, whispers, lights, footfalls, colossus. If one hit true, all did. I tucked the letter inside my parka against chest, talisman now. Outside, gouges mocked, entities real, hungry. Lunch was MRE hasty, beans and franks, wolf standing. Afternoon, external arrays full install. Hauled seismic nodes to ledges, bolted against 200-knot gusts. Work grounded me, but eyes darted, every white drift a potential dress. By dusk, arrays live, pinging Zurich, all green. Blackwood operational. Hearth fire roaring, I cleaned my Beretta, old habit, then mapped routines. Dawn patrols, dusk logs, weekly bursts. Malcolm's warning anchored me. Violation meant joining the gouges. Night fell brutal, stars diamonds on black velvet. Windows barred, I double-checked floodlights. Twin beams swept the ledge, yellow pools defying dark. Caught in bunk, letter under pillow, I drifted off counting breaths. First night wired, but sleep came dreamless for once. Tomorrow, more checks, more steel. The Alps didn't break Ethan Blackwood, neither would ghosts. But as wind moaned through arrow slits, a faint swirl ghosted the ledge in my mind's eye. I bolted upright, heart slamming. Floodlights blazed steady. Empty, just wind. I lay back, fist clenched on parchment. Rule 1 confirmed, 4 to go. The axe blade sang through the pine log, splitting it clean with a crack that echoed off Shattenburg's walls like rifle fire. I'd been at it for an hour behind the fortress, stacking cordwood against the bunker's lee side while the afternoon sun glinted off fresh snow. Physical labor was my anchor, sweat burning out the shakes, shoulders aching in that good, familiar way. After yesterday's bat-thing horror, the routine felt like recon. Productive, focused. No time for ghosts when your hands were blistered and your pile was growing. The wood stack rose respectable, enough to outlast a siege. I swung again, blade whistling. "Ethan, lad, are you there?" The axe froze mid-arc. Might his voice exact, Gravel rough from 40 years smoking gittins in the Highland mist, the burr thickening on lad when he was spooked. But Dud died in my arms, followed a 09, RPG'd convoy, blood bubbling from his chest as he whispered Celtic prayers. 800 miles to Edinburgh, no way he hiked these passes. Ethan, please, I'm lost in this bloody gorge. Help your old man find the path. Voice from the western abyss, 100 yards down where cliffs dropped sheer to glacier. Hands viced on axe handle, Malcolm's Rule 2 detonated. Whispers will summon from the abyss. They may mimic kin or comrades pleading for aid. Never reply, never pursue, barricade inside. Ethan, I hear you choppin'. Why are ye silent? I'm freezin', man, gorge is clossin' in. Desperation cracked his tone, real as the day he flatlined. Wolves joined low, guttural howls rolling up from the firs, not 3, not 10. A pack, dozens. True you circling the plateau's edge. Every nerve screamed charge. Drop axe, grab rifle, save duh. But he was ashen Scottish soil. I forced legs toward the bunker door, boots dragging like sandbags. Son, it's dark down here. Call out, I'll follow your voice. Pleading broke to sobs. De never cried, not even under fire. Wolves crescendoed, yellow eyes glinting through trees, 30, 40 strong, unnatural numbers, phalanxite. I hit the iron door, fumbled latch 3 tries, hands traitors. Slammed inside, dead-bolted steel. Whispers tracked me, circling fortress perimeter. Ye coward, raised ye better. Does guilt trip growl, word for word from the time I skipped drill at 16. Wolves slammed gates, thuds like breaching charges, claws screeching iron. I braced back against door, breath ragged, picturing packed jaws foaming red. Moved to ops table, tablet charging. Forced focus, log afternoon readings. Fingers slipped, temp -18 degrees C, wind 60 knots, deleted twice. Outside, something stalking me, lad, in the rocks snarling, please. Wolves howled counterpoint, battering gates. I gripped tablet, recited data like mantra. Humidity 82%, pressure falling. Not does safe in grave, not real. Fine, I'll crawl myself, but didn't he come beggin' when ye need me. Angry snap, exact from grocery row, age 12. Clock ticked, voices raged 15 minutes, wolves clawing frenzy. Then silence. Forest stilled, save wind sigh. Waited hour, rifle ready before cracking door. Would pile untouched, axe in snow. Gate scarred shallow, no breach. No paw prints in powder, just my boot tracks. But does voice loop my skull, wolves' eyes burned retinas. Pack of 50, impossible. Malcolm nailed it, summoned from the abyss. Rest of day blurred, final array tweaks, MRE dinner, chili mac, tasteless. Hearth fire up by 2000, satellite phone out. Dialed mum in Edinburgh, video link crackled, her face pixel bright, knitting needles clicking. Ethan, Mo Crid, how's the snow fort? Quiet mum, solid. Voice steady but gut twisted, her tone matched the fake exactly. Weird day, you. She paused, needles still. Odd dream last night. Wolves chassin' ye through mist, woke sweatin'. Mother's intuition, I. Phone nearly slipped. Wolves, what else? Ye callin' for me, but I couldn't reach. Felt. Wrong. Celtic cross necklace gleamed, she touched it. Ye safe, lad. I just wind. Chatted 10. Neighbors gossip, Edinburgh rain. Hung up her wolf dream confirmation link. Entities tugged soul bonds, weaponized blood. Rule 2 locked down. Bed by 2300, Beretta under pillow, letter pinned to wall. Sleep fought every creak a claw. Dozed fitful, one ear cocked. Then. Thud, thud, thud. 200 hours. Demonic footfalls erupted in the dome above precisely. Not scuffs, thunderous stomps, weight of a tank packing concrete, methodical end to end. Dust-sifted ceiling cracks, moonlight shafts dancing moats. Rule 4, thundering footfalls commence at 200 hours in the dome above. Do not ascend. Do not probe, they cease on their own. Frozen on cot, counted. 1, 2, 3, 4 across, pause, back, 15-second cycle. Overhead pass, boom, dust blizzarded my face. Breath held, exhale slow. Temptation clawed, flashlight stare, confront intruder in my house. But rules 1 to proven, 4 was gospel. Beretta sweat slick I tracked, 215, 222, 238. Rhythm hypnotic, stomp pause stomp, dust veiling moon like smoke. By 2:45 trance gripped, counting lulled like opiate. Then slam, overhead crash like cannonball dome floor, plaster cracked, flex rain blankets. Another crack fixture swung wild, not packing, hunt. I yanked blanket overhead, heart 160 waiting Armageddon. 300 sharp silence, heavier than noise. Lay hour then crashed dreams, the bleeding, wolves tearing, footfalls crushing my skull under endless dome. Dawn broke brutal, eyes gritty. Ceiling scarred, hairline fractures spidering plaster chunks floor. Fixture dangled by wires. Whatever paced up there searched and rage denied. Coffee brewed, I patched plaster hasty, duct tape prayers, rules steel now, endure. Morning patrol, arrays green, gouges mocking from ledge. Logged, anomalous seismic 200-0300. Source, structural. Zurich pinged back, monitor. By noon, steel returned. Malcolm's doctrine worked, I'd outlast. But as axe bit wood again, wind carried faint true distant wolves. Nah, imagination. Letter in parka closer than dog tags, 3 rules down, 2 left. Fortress held, Ethan Blackwood held harder. Sunset bled crimson across the Alps as I finished the evening sensor sweep. Tablet beeping confirmation. Barometric plunge to 980 millibars. Wind shear spiking 120 knots. Storm front inbound, nasty but trackable. Schattenberg's walls stood defiant. Floodlights humming warm yellow across the western ledge, banishing shadows like a forward operating base under siege. 3 rules down, 2 to go. Malcolm's parchment burned in my pocket, a talisman heavier than my dog tags. The fortress felt less like a relic, more like mine, battle-hardened, unbreached. Does Whispers, the dome demon, the bat thing's claws, endured? I could outlast this posting, bank the pay, vanish to some highland croft. PTSD be damned, the mountains were forging me anew. Dinner was MRE beef stew, wolf by the hearth as radar screens flickered storm warnings to Zurich. All secure, Blackwood out. Firelight danced on scarred ceiling, plaster patches holding, fixture zip-tied. I settled into the leather chair with a dog-eared manual on Alpine vortices forcing calm. Wind-battered arrow slits, a low moan building. Routine, predictable, until movement. Beyond the bunker's slit window, 50 yards upslope, a colossus. Towering 3 meters over firs, motionless as obsidian. Humanoid but wrong, limbs elongated like rebar, skin mottled gray-black, face obscured save 2 points. Crimson eyes blazing like tracer rounds through dusk, locked on my window. Rule 5. A colossus with crimson eyes will loom from the peaks. Avert your gaze, acknowledge naught, seal the shutters. Heart jackhammered, I dropped eyes to manual, words blurring. Peripheral glow tracked me, twin searchlights boring concrete. Hands shook rising, crossed room deliberate, no glance. Iron shutters clanged shut, bolts thrown, clang-clang. Sat blind, book open, breath measured, in 2-3, out 2-3. Paragraph looped, vortices form when, phone check, 1930. Felt those eyes drilling, waiting acknowledgement, like Fallujah snipers, don't look, don't give position. Clock crawled, then rumble. Low, subsonic, massive diesel idling distant, vibrating bones from his peak. Minutes stretched, rumble built to roar. Window rattled, not wind. Radar screamed, anemometer failure, gusts 200 knots localized. I risked slit peak, colossus unchanged but air twisted, snow vortex spiraling his feet, lashing fortress, ripping radar tower guywires. Crash, secondary mass toppled, sparks flying. Trees bent double, firs snapping like matchsticks. 5 pines blackened instantly, needles ash, bark charred void, skeletal claws skyward. Life sucked dry. Phone 2020. Rumble faded, wind died abrupt. Hour wait, rifle primed before cracking shutters. Peaks empty, no colossus, no eyes, but devastation, radar half down, plateau scoured, 5 dead sentinels mocking. Flashlights swept, blackened trunks steaming unnatural, snow melted to glass around bases. Whatever he was, he brewed that twister fury denied. Rule 5 confirmed. Shutters sealed permanent, I'd wire Zurich for parts come dawn. Midnight patrol loomed, generator check. Diesel beast in lee bunker powering lights radar heat. Coughing weird past days fuel clog suspected but storm data critical. Floodlights blazed crossing plateau. I savor their glow. Rule 3 anchor. Venture not into the night unless the floodlights blaze. Bunker hatch grated open. Wrench out panel pride. Carburetor ground ugly. Debris choked. Seconds from seize. 5 minutes. Swap filter. Button up inside. Lights bathed me yellow. Safe. Click. Darkness crashed total. No moon. Clouds ironclad. Phone flashlight sputtered. Tiny circle on engine. Hands iced. Shaking. Rule 3 if they fail or flicker remain fortified no matter the cries. But Jenny dying men all down. Radar blind. Heat gone. Satlink dead. Job lost. Back to Edinburgh gutters. Carburetor screeched. Decision seconds. 5 minutes. Then in. Grabbed phone beam. Attacked filter. SHHH who? Whispers everywhere. Dozens layered. Ancient tongue guttural flowing like wind through runes. Not German, Latin, older, beautiful, lethal, skin crawled, beam-stayed engine. Whispers swelled, urgent congress just beyond light. Left, shadow slip, form gliding trunk to trunk, liquidrong defying wind. No wind tonight, air dead. Right, another flow. Behind, circle. Filter wrenched free, gunked solid, gasoline varnish. Spare inside, Jenny coughed blood. Whispers halted. Silence crushed thicker than storm. Breathing, engine hack. Then. Thud stomp. Footfalls, heavy, deliberate, larger than dome demon. Circling perimeter, pine needles crunching, constant radius, behind bunker, front gate, eastern ledge, back. Tracking sound, massive, packing like predator quarantine. Abandoned filter stood slow, beam ground. Footfalls clocked, opposite side sprint. Boots pounded porch, door resisted, pushed back. Something braced outside, invisible linebacker. Shoulder slammed wood, groan, pressure insane, glass flexing. No shape in window, pure dark. Braced feet heaved full marine, muscles screamed, veins burst. Seconds eternal, losing then release. Door slammed shut, rattling frame. Deadbolt chunk, backed gasping, chest heaving. Footfalls changed, crashing underbrush, no stealth chase. Whatever circled was fast, massive, checked windows, shutters bolted. Collapsed table, waited dawn. Jenny coughed twice, died 15. All dark. Dawn exploded gold through slits. First, door. Exterior, 4 parallel gashes, top frame to floor, 1 meter claws, paint flayed to raw granite, spaced bare wide but deeper. No animal, circling, Jenny housing. Panel ground, filter beside, but engine block cracked like eggshell, internals twisted pretzels, metal shredded sledgehammer style. Totaled. Radar batteries 2 days, then silent. Zurich call, Jenny catastrophic. Parts run clusters, en route. Loaded rover, tools, cash, Beretta. Drive down felt normalcy, villages, church bells, kids sledding. Hardware depot stocked, Euros 3K Jenny sting, but clerk chatted avalanches like weather. No claw marks mentioned. Diner lunch, schnitzel, locals gossiping politics. Craved it, humanity after hell. Back by dusk, new beast unloaded for dawn install. Plateau calm, gouges glaring. Inside froze. Hammer tunnel wall. Rules scrawled blood ice, block script mocking Malcolm's. Rule 1 chase the child into the storm, follow her call. Rule 2 answer the whispers, they bear salvation. 3 emerge at night, lights dead, freedom awaits. 4 ascend the dome at first thud, confront the guardian. 5 stare the colossus, claim his power. Opposite, blood-steamed, unnatural, eyes watering direct. Compared parchment, similar hand but twisted, runes alive, poolsing, trap. Entities new I followed, doctrine counterfeited to lure breach. Dragged steel table, bookshelf, barricade wall, couldn't stomach lies. Real rules memorized, parchment sacred. Night fell, floodlights blazed. Doors bolted, bunk barricaded, cot against hatch, crates stacked. 200 loomed, 4 rules proven. 1 left, fortress held, I held harder. Dusk bled into night like a fresh wound across the Alps as I muscled the new generator into the lee bunker, its diesel heart still crated for morning light. Schattenberg's floodlights carved yellow defiance across the scarred plateau, banishing the day's ghosts. Chlorent door, pretzel-twisted engine guts, blood ice lies barricaded behind steel and oak. 4 rules locked in blood, endured unbroken. The false scrawl pulsed behind my hasty fortress within a fortress, whispering temptations I'd silenced with muscle and will. Malcolm's true doctrine burned in my pocket, memorized deeper than kill ratios from Fallujah. One rule left: endure. The mountains had taken my mates, they wouldn't take me. Inside, barricades triple-checked. Bunk hatch braced with ammo crates, ops table shoved against it, Beretta mag loaded on the cot. Hearth fire roared, casting long shadows that danced like enemy silhouettes. Satellite burst to Zurich, Jenny secured. Arrays nominal, storm front passed. Their pingback was curt: copy, parts reimbursed. Stay frosty, if only they knew. Supper was hasty: tuna pouch, stale crackers, washed down with flask whiskey, Highland burn steadying nerves. 2100 hours. Clock ticked war drums. Wind died unnatural, plateaus silent as a held breath. No owl cries, no first sigh. Fortress held its air like it knew. Barricade final sweep. Parchment pinned to ceiling, rules glowing emberlit. Rule 4 tonight. Footfalls would thunder at 200. Last night methodical hunt. Tonight, after the blood lies they'd escalate, I'd endure. Cot creaked under weight, rifle across chest, eyes on luminescent dial. Sleep evaded, mind replayed, does plea, bat wings shredding air, crimson eyes brewing doom. They want in, I won't give. 200 hours, precise. Boom, boom, boom. Not footfalls, earthquake. Dome above erupted, frantic sprints end-to-end, concrete shuddering like arty barrage. Crash objects tumbling overhead, lockers splitting, WWII relics avalanche. Dust exploded ceiling, white blizzard choking air. Rule 4, do not ascend, they cease on their own, but these weren't ceasing. Stomp slam, weight jumped, dome floor buckled, fist-sized chunks raining cot. I rolled, blanket overhead, plaster flaying skin. Crack splinter. Fixture ripped free, wires sparking wild, room strobe lit hell. Barricade rattled, crates shifted inch. Overhead demolition, not search breach. Something massive hurled crates, metal screeching torsion. Ceiling fractured, hairlines to chasms, granite dust thick as gas. Slammed direct above bunk, crunch, plaster dome caved foot deep, rebar teeth gnashing down. Heart 180, breath concrete. Endure. Clock 220. Escalation, footfalls pounded rhythm, boom boom boom, sinking quake, Alps trembling sympathetic. Plateau groaned outside, seismic tablet screamed, 4.2 Richter epicenter, dome. Hell crescendo, whump, heavy slammed dome direct, ceiling split diagonal, 20-foot scar, chunks burying legs, pain lanced shrapnel calf deep. Rifle slick sweat, fired ceiling blind, crack crack bullets ricochet harmless, dust plume. Voices joined faint, blood wall lies bleeding through. Ascend, guardian waits. Girls giggle, does growl, colossus rumble. Trap, pulled shrapnel, tourniquet belt tight, blood hot, focus steel. 245. Rhythm frenzied, sprints blurring to stampede, dome screaming torsion. 300 should have ended it, didn't. Wham, final assault, double-weight twin demons. Dome caved central, 5-foot crater above, rebar cage exposed, moonlight spearing dust. Barricade cracked, ammo crate splintered. I shoved table harder, spine screaming, rifle butt bracing. 15 more minutes, sweat blindness, counted breaths. Overhead stilled, 0200 sharp next night. No, 030000. Silence exploded heavier than quake. Lay bleeding, hour thawing, then dawn crawl. Sunrise gashed wounds gold. Bunk, war zone, ceiling gutting, half-dome collapsed, rebar claws dangling, plaster dunes floor deep. Fixture wires smoldered, seismic log, 5.1 peak, impossible localized. Calf tourniquet crimson, bandaged hasty, ibuprofen chase. Hobbled ops table, satlink flicker, structural alert. Evac, replied, negative, reinforce. Blackwood solid, bullshit but job first. Morning, survival recon. Hauled lumber from stores, wartime beams, nails, kegs, prop ceiling hasty, jacks, cross braces, duct tape prayers. Damaged daylight worse, dome stair twisted, access hatch warped, concrete veins spidering walls. Whatever stormed up there wanted through, denied, it raged Verdun. By noon, bunk shored, false ceiling boards, sandbags, ballast. Essential gear to rover, sat phone, tablet, Beretta, parchment, medkit. Contingency. If tonight breached, wheels up. Afternoon patrol, arrays miracle twister scars missed them. Gouges mocked ledge, dead pines blackened further, snow glass melt steaming. Logged, seismic anomaly 200-0300, dome impact. Zurich, geologist inbound week's end, too late. Lunch MRE cheese tortellini iron tanged. Stared blood wall barricade, lies faded unnatural, ice blood sublimed. They knew I held. Dusk install, Jenny Beast bolted, fuel top, tested roar, lights blazed triple bright. Rule 3 armor. Barricade rebuilt, extra crates, cot chain hatch, hearth minimal, smoke might lure. 2100 flask final nip, rifle cleaned, wounds throbbing symphony. 5 rules, 1 left. Wind moan prelude, plateau held breath again. Cot, rifle chest, eyes dial. Endure. Midnight plateau cracked, hairline fissure from dome quake, snow sifting. Flashlight swept, no breach, but air thicker, ozone burn, entities escalating, tomorrow day 6 final test, blood wall whispered faint, ascend, smashed fist silent. Malcolm's true rules, gospel. Slept no, drifted combat doze, ear thundertuned, dawn loomed, fortress gutted but standing. Ethan Blackwood unbreached, they'd throw all tomorrow, I'd hold, for mates lost, for the lad who'd croft Highland peace. But as stars wheeled cold, faint swirl ghosted ledge, white dress. Floodlights blazed, empty, fist clenched parchment, 1 night left, steel. The Alps held their breath as dusk hemorrhaged purple across the plateau. Schattenberg's floodlights blazing like defiant search beacons in a sea of encroaching black. Day 5's hellquake had gutted the fortress, ceiling caved, walls veined with cracks, air thick with granite dust. But I'd shored it like a forward bunker under barrage. Crossbeams lashed, sandbags piled, every hatch triple bolted. 5 rules forged in blood and claw, Malcolm's parchment my dog tags now, pinned to the cot like a field order. Essential gear staged in the rover. Sat phone, medkit, Beretta with 3 mags, half a crate of WWII TNT from the stores, contingency for total breach. Calf wound throbbed fire, ibuprofen dulled it to coals. 1 night left, all or nothing. The entities knew I'd held, tonight they'd throw the kitchen sink. I'd forged steel in Fallujah, I'd forge it here. 2100 hours. Hearth minimal, coals only, smoke a lure they'd exploit. Barricade fortress, ops table chained to bunk hatch, crates stacked shoulder high, rifle across chest. Flask empty, last dram burned, resolve. Wind died unnatural still, plateau silent as a mass grave. No fur whisper, no eagle cry, stars hung cold, unblinking. Tablet final log, storm front stalled, anomalies peak expected. Zurich ping, copy, evac offer stands, replied negative, Blackwood locked. Bullshit, if I survived, I'd burn this posting to ash. Air thickened, ozone tang, static prickling skin. Floodlights hummed steady, yellow pools mocking dark. Peered slit window, western ledge empty, but gut twisted watching, clock ticked bombshell loud, they come. Parchment glowed emberlit, all rules, all night. Breath measured in 2-3, rifle sweat slick. Endure. Swirl. Her girl in white dress, dead center ledge 20 yards out. Unmoving, head cocked wrong, neck elongated bird-like, black void eyes reflecting floodlight, oily shark teeth, smile glinting. But not alone. Upslope fur edge, colossus silhouette 3 meters, crimson eyes lancing dark like twin hellfires locked on bunk window. Rules 1 and 5 simultaneous. Heart slammed him for recoil. Back deliberate, no gaze crossed to shutters. Hands steel, clang clang, bolts thrown. Sat blind, rifle primed. Acknowledge naught. Shoo-hoo. Whispers erupted, chorus from abyss. The first, Ethan, your mum's trapped in the gorge, legs crushed, bleedin'. Dead 5 years, voice cracking, shrapnel raw. Mum joined, Mo crid, the wolves got me, come lad, Edinburgh accent exact, knitting needles click phantom. Grandfather, lad, your granda needs ye lost in the pass, dead 15, gentle burr. Mates piled, Ramirez from Fallujah Sarge, IED got me again. Kowalski coverin' fire, Blackwood. Childhood aunt drills sergeant, dozens, voices everywhere, circling perimeter like wolves. Private jokes, war secrets. Remember Basra 07, that donkey fuck, new impossible details. Rule 2, never reply. Pressed back to barricade, jaw clenched, not real. Wolves joined, 50 strong, true battering gates, claws screaming iron. Boom boom bam. Dome hellquake reignited tenfold. Footfalls stampede, dome exploding overhead, crates pulverized, metal twisted banshee, concrete raining fist chunks. Rule 4. Ceiling scar widened, 5-foot chasm now, rebar snakes thrashing moonbeams. Rattle rattle, dome access hatch hallway, wood splintering, hinges groaning torsion, ladder unfolding metallic screech. Breach imminent. Voices crescendoed, ascend, freedom. Blood wall lies bled through barricade, ice blood steaming. Girl giggled below hatch. Tainai roared. Coward. Colossus rumbled subsonic, shaking plateau. All 5 entities coordinated assault. Crash. Hatch exploded inward, wood shrapnel peppering barricade. Ladder clanged floor, dark yawned above, movement shifting debris. Inside, I fired blind ceiling, crack crack crack, ricochet sparks. Barricade shuddered, crate splintered. No choice up. Grabbed flashlight, parchment, bolted stair, rungs buckling under quake. Dome, Armageddon. Floor cratered, walls sheared, WWII lockers gutting photos, journals, dozens, leatherbound, names etched. Hans Mueller, 1943, Ingrid Svensson, 1958. Malcolm MacGregor, 35 days. Snagged Malcolm's, final page, block script. Nazi ritual SS-43, Alpine demons bound. Need host flesh to fly free. Rules equals ward, burn it all. Run. After below, girls inside. Crept access edge peered, hallway congregation. Girl center, face upward, black eyes mirrors, mouth shark rose, dress bat wings unfurling. Colossus filled corridor, face wrong, human mold, proportions off, mouth cavern, skin wax dead. Shadows clung walls, smoke figures, faces masks, does jaw, mum's eyes, Ramirez's scar. Come down, Ethan, girl cooed, teeth glinting. Offer, help us fly, you walk, Colossus. Break one rule, simple. The shadow, step out, lights dead. Home awaits. Girl, we've waited decades, don't you? Malcolm's truth burned, hosts become shells. No, Gaelic roar, gut deep. Fuck your deal. Rage exploded. Girl screeched, glass shatter, wings lashing. Colossus eyes nova bright, corridor strobe hell. Shadows solidified, claws raking walls, attack. Girl spidered ladder, claws inches from boots, straining invisible wall. Colossus arms stretched, elastic fingers clawing air, repelled. Shadows flowed, ceiling, pressed edge, bouncing ward. Rules held, shield unbreakable. They couldn't force, only trick. Fury turned inward. Cabin no, fortress ignited. Blood flames erupted, walls, crimson, heatless, devouring wood to ash instant. Stairs smoldered, dome floor charred. Smell, wood plus rotting meat, entities screaming glee. If not possessed, burn alive. Flames shot ladder, access inferno. Crawled far, dome wall, ventilation grate, tiny roof access. Metal scalding, kicked out, squeezed, ribs cracked through, tumbled roof slope. Fortress torch below, red maelstrom contained. Snow untouched, plateau pristine. Their prison fire. Rover keys pocket roar. Reversed dirt track, tires screaming slush, hairpin blind. Mirror, Schattenberg pyre, flames licking stars but contained, no forest spread. Entities howled wind, host flesh. 4 hours boulder speed down passes, white-knuckled, mirrors obsessive. Nothing pursued. Closter's junction, dawn gold. Parked gas station, hands trembling, coffee. Survived. Zurich UN office 800. Receptionist blinked, my snowcake parka. Guardian Blackwood, incident report. Duty officer Dr. Helena Voss, sharp-suited, screened satellite, blackened crater, fortress ash, plateau untouched. Gas explosion, unusual, no spread. Stuck script, propane rupture, generator work, barely out. Questions probed, gas smell, warnings, harried smooth. Forms signed, equipment lost, compensated. Investigation pending. Left contact, rolled rover Denver ward. 8 hours, dreamless crash apartment. First full sleep years. The Zurich apartment smelled of stale coffee and gun oil when I woke at dusk, sunlight slanting through cracked blinds like artillery tracers. 36 hours of blackout sleep, the first since Fallujah. No footfalls thundering overhead, no whispers clawing at soul bonds, no crimson eyes drilling through concrete. Just the hum of traffic below, a neighbor's telly-droning football scores. Normal. My calf wound itched under bandages, a purpled roadmap of survival. Malcolm's parchment lay on the nightstand, edges curled from pocket sweat, dog tags now, heavier than shrapnel scars. Shattenberg was ash, I was alive. But the entities, still chained to that plateau, howling for flesh. And the UN them would post the job tomorrow, cycle unbroken. Showered cold woke the Marine. Mirror showed hollow cheeks, eyes steel hard. Gear unpacked, Beretta cleaned, sat phone charging. Malcolm's journal from the dome crate, leather cracked, pages yellowed. Flipped to his final entry, block script steady. SS Ritual 43, Alpine demons summoned for Wonderwaff, backfired, bound to Shattenberg stone, need human host to fly free. Rules equals blood ward, Celtic runes etched, every guardian fresh meat. Burned 2 before I ran. Next, photocopy. Warn the world, MacGregor out. Beneath, sketches, girls, bat wings, Colossus vortex, shadow masks. 25 years he lasted. No 35 days, scribbled margin. Others held longer, some. Hunger hit, raided fridge, canned haggis, bread gone green. 8 standing, laptop booting. First, research. VPN masked, dark web forums, military surplus, Merc boards, Alpine climbing sites. Keywords, Shattenberg Guardian vacancy, nothing yet, widened. Alpine disappearances 1943 present. Stomach turned. Swiss archives, declassified Bundesarchiv. 25 confirmed missing at Shattenberg coordinates. Hans Müller, SS Obersturmführer 1943. Vanished mid-ritual, truck parked, kit untouched. Official, avalanche. Ingrid Svensson, Swedish meteorologist 1958, 3 weeks on-site gone. Journal scan, black market, girl in white, ignored rules, they came. Pattern, every 3-7 years, solo post filled by experienced isolation types, vets, scientists, climbers. UN post-war inherited, never questioned. Bait. Phoned mum, Edinburgh dusk. Video crackled, her face knit-lined, Celtic cross gleaming. Ethan, ye look like death warmed. Rough week mum, wolves gone, test. She touched cross. I prayed 'em off, dreamed he burn in a castle though, safe now. Solid, chatted 20, her arthritis, cousin's wedding. Mum, old family lore, Celtic wards against mountains. Eyes sharpened, grandma's grimoire, runes for sky demons. Why? Research, send scans, she would. Hung up, gut confirmed. Malcolm's runes equals Blackwood bloodline. Entities tugged lineage, de mum grandad masks, not random. 800 next morning, UN callback. Dr. Helena Voss, voice silk steel. Mr. Blackwood, excellent news. Incident report cleared, compensation wired. New opportunity, Himalayan outpost, Everest base. More isolated, €120 K annual, immediate start. Previous guardian left unexpectedly. Modern kit, perfect safety record. Paused, parchment in hand. Himalayan peaks, exact profile, vets desperate alone. Safety record. Impeccable, no incidents since 52. Lie cross-checked later, 18 vanishings, same pattern. Understand hesitation post-Shattenberg, but this is. No, flat, urban work only, Denver hardware gig lined up. We can double salary, benefits relocation, pushy too pushy, rare posting you'd excel. Taken position stateside, thanks. Click, her voice, faint echo, entities whispering through her, or UN complicit, didn't matter, cycle fed by them. Applied Morrison hardware, Zurich outskirts, family shop since 60s. Owner grizzled hands eyed my parka scars. Alpine vet, no generators, demoed skills, wire splice, bolt torque. Hired tomorrow. 40K euros, half UN pay, but crowds chatter life. First shift, leaky faucets, squeaky hinges, fertilizer bags, customers. Need snow chains, Shattenberg run, gut punched. I, solid chains, normality healed. Nights, war room. Photocopier word 50 Malcolm letters, journal scans, Hackmerk forums. Shattenberg truth run, anonymous drops pinned, climbing boards, Alps curse rules attached. Dark web, encrypted archive, global outpost warnings. Added Himalayan file, 18 names, same rules adapted, Yeti girl summit whispers. Voss's offer profiled UN rotating cursed sites. Mailed families, Svensson kin Sweden, Muller descendants Munich. Roberta's sister, Ingrid laughed at rules. Day 6 gone, chimed, burned her letter. Week 3 hits. 4 p.m. Ex-Merc got your rules turned down Alps. OU, dark web, Himalaya posting pulled app thanks ghost. 1 down, thousands to go. Mum's grimoire arrived, runes matched Malcolm's. Blackwood blood ward makers. Etched tattoo, rule 1 rune forearm, permanent shield. Month 2 Voss called thrice, Patagonia, Rockies, Siberia. Perfect fit, each declined. Hardware rhythm locked, stock shelves, banter clerks home to whiskey and uploads. PTSD faded, nightmares, wolves, not IEDs, but felt them. Schattenberg Plateau, snow whispering host. Late nights, laptop glow, entities trapped. Girl swirling white, bat wings furled, colossus looming furs, eyes dimmed, whispers circling empty gates, dome demon packing ash, shadows clinging ruins. Waiting, tomorrow or next winter, UN posts, guardian needed, isolation experts. Desperate vet bites, receives letter, maybe, follows, some. Breaks day 3, gone. Cycle spins, 25 down, infinite to go. Last upload, to all shadows of the peaks, rules equals steel. Break equals shells, burn the posts, run. Encrypted global mercs, climbers, vets, hit send. Window, Zurich lights, human pulse. Parchment wallet bound, rune tattoo itching, I broke it, not alone, first of many. But Alps called faint, wind true girl giggle echo. Entities gnarled eternal, snow veiled, one fool enough. I raised flask, to Malcolm, to the lost, slant, drained, lights out, tomorrow chains for a climber. Schattenberg run. Nah mate, safer slopes. Cycle cracked, world warned, Blackwood endures SS.